This is Ethan Cole, 29 years old, captured on a grainy ATM security camera just outside a Chase Bank in Dayton, Ohio. It was 9:14 p.m. on a cold Tuesday night, February 6th, 2018. This was the last confirmed sighting of him. Ethan wasn't the kind of man who made risky choices. He was an electrical engineer, structured, predictable, almost boring in his routine. He had finally saved enough to put a down payment on a small piece of land near Hocking Hills, where he planned to build a cabin, something he'd dreamed of since college. That night, he withdrew $2,000. Money he intended to send to his younger sister, Mara, to help cover the final payment for her wedding venue in Wisconsin that upcoming weekend. But Ethan Cole never made it back to his apartment on Linden Avenue. 2 days later, police found his silver Toyota Camry, parked neatly along a quiet service road behind an abandoned hardware store on the outskirts of town. The car was locked. His phone was gone. The envelope of cash was missing. But strangely, his work laptop, with his ID card still inside the sleeve, was untouched in the trunk. To the police, it looked like a typical robbery gone wrong, a tragic statistic, something Dayton had seen before. His family was devastated. A year later, when nobody was found, a small memorial service was held. His mother fell apart, and within 18 months, she passed away. Her doctors said heart complications. His sister said it was heartbreak. His father, a retired machinist who lived alone in a small, aging house in Springfield, shrank into himself. The silence left by Ethan's absence was a weight he never learned to carry. Time moved on. The case turned cold. And then, in early January of this year, something impossible happened. Ethan's father, who still used the same old flip phone he'd had for years, started getting calls, always between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. The screen always said unknown number. Whenever he fumbled to answer, the line was dead. At first, he blamed it on poor network coverage. The man still lived in a house where the basement got no signal, and storms frequently knocked out the landline. His daughter begged him to turn the phone off at night. He never did. Then, just as abruptly as they started, the calls stopped. His father shrugged it off. A glitch, a crossed line, nothing more. But the universe wasn't done yet. 2 months ago, Ethan's sister, Mara, now living in Minneapolis with her husband, started receiving the same calls. Unknown number, always after 2 a.m. At first, she let them ring out. She assumed it was spam or a scammer. Until one night, half awake, she answered on the first ring. There was no voice, but she heard something. A faint, mechanical rumble, rhythmic, uneven, sputtering. The sound pulled her instantly back to childhood. It wasn't a car engine, not a generator like in the original story, but something distinctly American in its nostalgia. The old, beat-up, gas-powered furnace in the basement of their childhood home. The one that used to rattle and cough in the winters, shaking the vents and sending warm air that smelled faintly of burning dust. Her husband brushed it off. Old houses, old furnaces. Half the Midwest sounds like that. But Mara knew that sound. It haunted her. Last week, she traveled to Springfield to visit her father, staying in the same small house Ethan grew up in. She slept in her old room, where the vents still creaked and the wallpaper still curled slightly at the corners. At exactly 2:31 a.m., her phone exploded with a shrill ringtone. Unknown caller. She didn't want to answer, but something, instinct, dread, or fate, made her swipe the screen and lift the phone. At first, silence. Then she heard it. The furnace, louder now, rattling violently. So real and close she felt the vibration against her ear. Underneath it, something else emerged, a sound wet and ragged, breathing, struggling, like someone inhaling water or drowning. Then came a whisper, thin, trembling, on the edge of existence, not in Igbo like the original, but in Ethan's voice, broken and small. "Ma, it's cold down here." A wet gasp. "Dad, I can't breathe." The line cut off. Mara screamed. Her husband and father burst in, finding her shaking violently, clutching the phone as if it were burning her hand. They tried to reassure her. A sick prank, a spoofing app, a nightmare. She didn't believe them. The next morning, her father went outside to clear his head. Their backyard wasn't large, a simple patch of grass bordered by a rusting chain-link fence. In the far corner sat the old storm cellar, a heavy metal door leading underground. They'd sealed it over 10 years prior after flooding damaged the lower level. They rarely went near it. But today, something drew him there. A feeling he couldn't explain. He walked over and froze. A single, fresh crack ran across the welded metal seal, thin but unmistakable, and from that crack he felt a cold draft. Faint, impossible, because the storm cellar had been bone dry and airless for a decade. He hasn't opened it. He hasn't told a soul. But every night since then, he stands there, staring at the crack, listening as if something inside is whispering through memory, through metal, through time. There is something the police never bothered checking back in 2018. Ethan's phone pinged last near a cell tower by the Dayton Industrial Park. But no one looked at the tower logs for Springfield, near the house he grew up in, the house he was trying to drive to that night, the house with the sealed storm cellar, the one place the search teams never thought to go. What do you think really happened to Ethan Cole? Do you think it had anything to do with the phone calls and the creaks in the old house? Comment your opinion on the comments section as you gracefully like and subscribe to watch more video like this.